This interview with George Hackland took place in June 2013 at the Living Memory Association's Reminiscence Centre at Quayside Street in Leith. George was born in Newhaven in 1920. Here he takes us on a walk around some of the streets of Leith in the 1930s. We start at the crossroads of Ferry Road, Great Junction Street and North Junction Street. Our walk takes us along Coburg Street into Dock Street. We then come into Quayside Street, then known as Church Street. Finally into Sandport Place, Bridge Street, and across the bridge to the shore.
The embankment was a newsagent. That was all the thing there. It sort of overhung like the Chain Pier. There was Cooper Street School for girls. No, that was a girls' school. The boys went to Northfort Street School when you passed your qualifying, before David Kilpatrick was made into a secondary. You went to Northfort Street, the girls went to Cooper Street. Or if you could afford it, you could go to Leith Academy, pay a fee, or Broughton, pay a fee, or Trinity. And down past the school was a pub. I don't know the name because I never went in pub. That lovely big stone building, lovely building. Melrose tea and coffee. As you're coming down near here now, it's H.C. Gibson's heirs. That's H.C. Gibson's heirs, the heirs to H.C. Gibson's. And they were at the corner where you're reaching Dock Street now. But just prior to reaching that was Leith Provident at that corner. And you were at the corner of Johnson Street there, Johnson Street. And Gibson's heirs had a workshop in the corner of that Johnson Street. Plumbers. There was no heating engineers in those days. Plumbers and gas fitters. They had marine plumbing as well, and ships. And their office was across the road in Dock Street. The main building for me in Dock Street was A&R Hemmer Engineering. But before you turned the corner was Mrs. Reed's Dairy. Next to it was Ormison, in a house. It looked like a shop, but it's where they lived. They were scrap mills, and they kept their lorry in Heburn's yard. Heburn's was next to Heburn's office, then Heburn's workshop, and this is all in Dock Street, going down Dock Street. And Hebburn owned the whole of Dock Street, the property. On this side where Hepburn's was, still going down Hepburn's, was Sinclair the bagpipe maker. And next to that was William Ramsey, contractor. They had lorries. The man's name was William Ramsey Carney, but there were a lot of Carneys in Newhaven were lorries and that, so he called it William Ramsey. So that was on the corner, and then right at the very bottom was the church, which during the war was used as a sort of morgue. They brought in the bodies of the sailors and all that, they lay in there. Well, the station was on Johnson Street, and Johnson Street was behind Dock Street. But you entered the station from Commercial Street. The railway station there went up to the Waverley. It was LNER, and it was a one single carriage passenger train. It's its own engine like a tram car, with a 3-steam engine inside it. The goods part of it came across and through the docks into the docks. The railway lines went right across the street. Coming up the other side of Dock Street, at the very bottom of Dock Street was Duncan Davidson. He was boiler scalers and ships painters. He had a wee warehouse there. And then you came to D&F Wishart. Even before they built their new place, which is now demolished, and that all these warehouses are there. But they built a new place. They were steel merchants. And they came up from that, they're coming up now nearly to Clover Street. They'll soon be going on to Bridge Street. You want to come down the other side of Clover Street. That we newsagent at the top I was telling you about, that overhung, and you come right all the way down, past that wee graveyard, and it's Bell's the Seed Merchant. And the wee sort of laboratory there too. But I'd missed something out on the other side. Mackenzie and Story, the printers. They were printers and bookbinders. And because my sister Grace worked there, served her time as a bookbinder or something. But there's very little on this side at all till you come to Bell. Where you've got McGregor's Mill. Now McGregor's, they made the cattle feed. And the machinery, they punched out wee squares, dicey things, cattle feed stuff. McGregor's was there, that building was, and next to McGregor's, you're coming in, Holland and Bar Paint Company became British Paint, and their logo on the tin was Fort Bridge. And they were built on top of the dry dock. And when you're walking down the shore, if you look across, you can see the steel bit where the gates to the entrance of the dry dock were. As you're going that way, there was Sandport Street, Sandport Engineering Company, followed Lyle, a local man, and you had Leith Provident, again, you had a butcher's, grocers, you had a Miss Thompson the chemist, all in the wee shops there, and that Duncan Davis and I had the wee place above on Dock Street, changed and bought bigger premises right at the corner of Bridge Street and coming into here, like a shop, but it was bigger premises for laying out his tools and that. There weren't that many shops here because there were a lot of houses here, tenements, and Miss Thompson. Well, in those days you went to the chemist instead of going to the doctor. You had to pay to go to the doctor, so you went to the chemist. So the store occupied nearly all that one side, and you could cut down into the Sandport Engineering Company. Now they eventually bought over that dry dock, built yachts and small craft, like all wooden vessels. During the war there were ship repairing done there with boats, the motor torpedo boats and that, and these type of boats were built there because it just lodged them right into the river. Very, very busy, very busy river. A hive of industry, this place. The folk that worked in it, I'm trying to think what was on this side of Bridge Street. Very little for my tenements, like, because the other side was the shops. We got to the bridge, which opened up like the London Bridge, just part like that, there's no right up. It was hand wound up. The men from Leith Dock Commission, if there were boats coming down to come through, they came up with the handles and wound it up. The traffic was stopped, of course. Because all the boats that really came down there, George Brown had a boat building yard where they built yachts and that type of thing, wooden craft, up near the state, Picture House way. Or engineering and that were up there. I started my apprenticeship 36, and things didn't change in those days. A business was a business for life, as it were. So what was there was there.